Microsoft is going out of their way to kill offline accounts in Windows 11. And while that might sound like a tiny, insignificant detail, it's kind of a big deal. This marks the end of the era where you could install Windows without being forced online. Now, Microsoft wants every single Windows setup tied directly to a Microsoft account. And that raises a lot of questions. Why do they care so much about this? What does Microsoft actually gain from forcing everyone online? And maybe the bigger question, does any of this even matter when there's so many ways we already gave up privacy for convenience years ago? Welcome to Zesty's Tech, by the way. All the articles I'm referencing are linked in the description if you want to dig deeper. Be sure to leave a like and join the conversation in the comments below. And quick note, I am indeed the same person, but I'm using a voice changer so I don't have to listen to my voice so much. If you hate it, let me know, but it does make recording much easier. So here's what's happening. Microsoft is officially removing the ability to create a local or offline account when installing future versions of Windows 11. In the past, if you didn't want to sign in with a Microsoft account, there were workarounds that you could find in order to make it happen, even if that meant accessing the terminal. But now, that workaround is gone. The installer literally detects when you're offline and refuses to continue until you reconnect and sign in. And this isn't like a rumor. People testing insider builds are already seeing it happen. According to Tech Power Up, Microsoft has also disabled the old command line bypass that let enthusiasts sneak past the account requirement. So unless you're using an enterprise version of Windows, your next setup will require an online Microsoft account. So why? Why is Microsoft so insistent on this change? The cynical answer is data. Every online account means a direct link to a user profile, which lets Microsoft tie together telemetry data, advertising IDs, and purchase history. It also gives them a unified view across their entire ecosystem: Edge, OneDrive, Xbox, Office, Copilot, all of it. But to be fair, there are some legitimate benefits too. An online account makes it easier to recover a lost device. It syncs your settings and passwords across computers. From a convenience standpoint, it's genuinely useful. Most people don't mind and, in fact, prefer an online account because of its benefits. The problem is the lack of an option. Microsoft can also argue that linking your device online helps them roll out cloud features and AI tools more effectively. Still, they're not closing down loopholes in the command line prompt for our benefit. The more tightly your PC is tied to your Microsoft ID, the easier it is for them to collect data, personalize ads, and keep you inside their ecosystem. This isn't just about better experiences. It's also about tightening their grip of control. But does this actually change how much data they actually collect? The interesting part is not as much as you'd think. Even if you use a local account today, once your PC connects to the internet, Windows already sends plenty of data back to Microsoft. Telemetry, updates, store interactions, all of that happens automatically. So the amount of data they collect might not change much, but what does change is the identifiability of that data. A local account is mostly anonymous. It's hard for Microsoft to tie your activity directly to you. An online account, on the other hand, links everything neatly together under your Microsoft ID. That makes the data way more valuable for things like targeted advertising and AI training. So it's less about collecting more data and more about collecting better data. Still, it feels bigger than it is. This move won't stop people from using Windows, obviously. I mean, some people will move to Linux, and that's probably the best option for people that this is a deal breaker for. But it still feels significant, like a philosophical shift. For decades, Windows was the go-to for power users, people who liked to control their own computer, who preferred to stay offline or tweak anything they want. Removing the local account option feels like Microsoft saying, that's not our audience anymore. Windows is no longer a product you own, it's a service you use, on their terms, where every click, login, and purchase flows through their servers. And that shift from product to platform says a lot about how the company sees its users. You're not just customers, but you're data sources. You are such a valuable resource. This is part of a much larger trend at Microsoft. Between the integration of Copilot, the push for Game Pass, Office 365, and all the new AI-driven features, The company is betting everything on cloud-connected experiences. The more users they can tie to verified accounts, the more consistent and profitable that ecosystem becomes. In other words, Microsoft isn't selling software anymore. They're selling you the convenience of access and the data that comes with it. And once offline setup is completely gone, there's no going back. At least until someone finds a new way to hack it. So what do you think? Is this just the natural evolution of a connected world? Or is this just another step that removes any option for privacy? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for listening to me yap. I'll see you in the next one.